electricast. When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
Welcome to Her Extraordinary Life by Design, where we celebrate women who are shaping their lives one extraordinary day at a time. I'm your host, Leslie Gaudet, self-care coach for women who are ready to make self-care a priority to support them in life and business. Every week, I'll be speaking with inspiring women from various walks of life who will share their personal journeys and will discover how they have fearlessly carved their own paths as business owners, passionately pursuing their dreams and creating a meaningful impact on their communities. So let's get started. Hello, and welcome back to Extraordinary Life by Design podcast. Today I'm just going to pop in just doing something a little shorter than usual, but something I still feel is going to be valuable for you, because I really do feel that still, even if there's long episodes, or semi-long, whether they're with my guests, again, like if they're just solo episodes, I just want to make sure that you get value regardless of length, because it's not really about length. It's really about the quality of the content. I always believe that. And I really want to be able to share from this place. I feel like I'm just like this different person stepping into a new me. It's kind of interesting at the same time as a little bit discombobulating, I guess. But anyways, as we're moving into July, I've been, again, thinking a lot about professional women to the entrepreneurial woman to just women in general, whether you're in law, whether you're in like real estate, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a leader, a mentor, whether you're building your business, you're running your teams, whatever that's looking like for you, holding that responsibility, maybe in rooms where so much is expected from you. And this month for July, I am really excited because I'll be bringing you conversations with extraordinary professional women who have made some bold moves, especially in the industry that I still am a part of, in the legal industry. I'm really excited about those conversations because these women, these attorneys that I get to speak to this month, are really doing some beautiful, incredible, meaningful work led in high-pressure spaces. And they've continued designing their lives from that place of self-trust and knowing who it's for, that bigger picture. We all always talk about that we want to have this impact, right? We want to have this this legacy, this footprint that we're leaving behind. I always have felt, for me, I want to leave this place, this world, a better place than when I first came into it and took my first breath, as a baby. And as I'm going through this new season of my life that I find myself in, I'm still thinking how can I have this impact that's going to be supportive, inspirational, it's going to encourage other women to really step into and live extraordinary lives. And so as I was thinking about this series in particular, there was one idea that kept coming up for me. It's that moment where you realize that the old rules don't fit anymore, not because the old rules are wrong. I'm not saying that they're wrong, but maybe because, and even to go even a step further, they didn't help you or they didn't serve a purpose for that season, right? But I believe there comes a point in our lives when rules that helped us build the life that we're at, they may not be the same rules that are going to help us build the life you want next, right? You can't build something using the old format. Things have to change. And I think that moment can be really scary is important, but it can be really scary, especially I think as I've had the privilege of recording with some incredible professional women in the corporate world who are doing extraordinary things. And I know like as women, we get taught maybe directly or indirectly what success means, right? Whether it means we have to be dependable, we have to be prepared, we have to be professional, excellent, easy to count on, saying yes when you're needed, like, always being the yes person, keeping your emotions in check. That's something I think for women that's really been almost like I feel like people look at us and sometimes they say, "Oh, you're too emotional." Like when you're in a relationship, you're always so emotional. And I mean, I know that because I was a wreck, back in 2017 when really started to see that I needed change for my life, that the old way just wasn't working for me anymore. And I was emotional. But when you're told that to keep your emotions in check or not to ask for too much, you don't, not to need too much out of life, to prove that you can handle the rooms that you step into, the tables that you're invited to sit at, to prove that you actually even deserve a seat at the table and prove that you can carry the responsibility, that can be really, 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 you know, I feel like it just can be such, I'm trying to find the right wording here. I feel like it can be such a drain on our energy and it can just really feel heavy. And when you look at those rules, like maybe to keep ourselves in check, our emotions in check, to say yes when we're called on, to prove, I mean, maybe at some point you felt like you had to get the credentials to prove that you belong at the seats, the tables that you're invited to sit at. And they might, again, like all of the stuff, all of the things that you've done, that you've built your life around, that have brought you to this moment in your life, they have helped you get where you are today, right? They've helped you to build your credibility. They've helped you become the woman that you are, the woman that people trust, the woman who others refer to, that they promote, that they come to when something needs to be handled well. Like if you're that woman. And again, none of that's wrong. Again, there's nothing wrong with being capable and excellent and being someone that people can rely on. But I just truly believe there comes a point when you realize you're at this stage in your life. Like I'm at this crossroads. I've talked about this a lot on the podcast lately. I'm at this crossroads. And I've started noticing that those same rules, again, that I started questioning back in 2017, here I am 9 years later, right? And I'm thinking, "Oh, okay, some of the rules that helped me to get even from 2017 all the way to here are not, they helped me to get here, but now I'm finding that my life is asking for a version of me that it doesn't fit those things the way I've been living my life. It's not really fully fitting anymore. And again, an old rule was maybe if I can do it, I should do it, right? If someone asks, again, I need to be available. Like those types of those thought processes. Saying yes keeps me respected. I'll make room for myself after everything else is handled. Being professional means not letting anyone see how much something costs me. But as I've learned, and as I talk a lot about and work with my clients around this, is that our energy is our most valuable asset. Now, we think time is the most valuable asset. But if you don't have the energy to use your time in the way that you want to, it doesn't matter how much time you have in your day if you don't have the energy to show up to those commitments that you put on your calendar. And so, again, for me, as I'm thinking about this more and more, I realize that the old way of being is no longer supporting, right? The rules of before need to be shifted in order to be able to step into the new version. So maybe it happens when you say yes before you've even checked your calendar, right? You look at, oh, that's the old way. That's the old me. Maybe it happens when you go to close your laptop and you realize that you gave the best of your energy to everything except the thing that you said that mattered most for you. Maybe it'll happen when someone asks for something from you and your mouth says sure, but your whole body is saying, please don't do this, please don't do this, please don't do this, not this too, right? And I think that's the part we don't always think about because, again, the old rule of always being available, of saying yes, of not really honoring ourselves. I'm not saying to be selfish. What I'm saying is that to give the best of ourselves, we have to take care of ourselves. The word self and care. Self-care is not a buzzword. Self is you. Care is what you do for yourself. So self-care is very important. And so again, when we look at the rules of how we got to where we are today, those may have worked. It may have always felt like this is being responsible. It's just what you do. It's how life has always worked for you. It's the mature thing to do, the professional thing, the smart thing, being the dependable one. It's being the dependable thing that you do. But it's not going to work always if you are now at a crossroads sitting at, I would say, I'm staring at a fork in the road right now, looking at the known and the unknown and understanding that I'm straddling both of these and knowing that if I stay in the old way, that those are the same rules. But I am understanding that my body, physically, emotionally, mentally, that it's not where I want to be, right? I want change. I want to make change in my life. But in order to do that, the rules of before need to shift. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And I think that's where, if you're listening in today, you could be nodding your head right now. You find yourself right here with me at this crossroads. And it's not about wanting to burn down everything. I'm not saying burn everything down. I'm not saying to become unreliable, to stop saying yes, to stop caring, to walk away from everything you've built. But maybe it's where you're sitting and you're saying, is this still the way that I want to keep doing this, the way I want to keep living my life? And that question is so important because it's not just about what you do, it's who you are in the moment of what you do, right? It's about the way your work has been allowed to access your energy, the people who've accessed your energy, the way you've been shaping your yeses, about the way your calendar has been trained to schedule your time. It's about the way responsibility can really start to become the place where your own needs disappear. And it's where I believe that this conversation around energy is so important because we often talk about time as though time is the whole issue, right? Like, I don't have enough time. I need to manage my time better. I need a better schedule. I need a better routine. And sometimes, yes, that's true. Like, there are practical things that we can do to adjust how we use our time, right? But I believe before we even talk about time, that we have to talk about our energy, how we use it, because your calendar can show you where your time is going, right? You have meetings scheduled. You could have blocks of time set for creation, like content creation or product or service creation. But your energy is going to tell you what those decisions are costing you if you allow yourself to pay attention to that. And that's part of the work I do inside my Resilience and Energy Mastery program, because for me, energy isn't this vague idea. It's one of the clearest places where your life tells you the truth. Your energy is going to show you where something's no longer aligned, where a yes was made from guilt or obligation or fear of missing out on something because maybe you have a bigger picture and you see something and you think, oh, if I miss out on this, it's never going to come around again. But you know what? For me, I truly believe being open to pivot is a gift because not everything that's on your plan is going to really fit once you start going through it and you realize as you grow and you do more things that that plan is going to get bigger and better because you've allowed yourself to be open to something new and exciting and possibly to pivot. Your energy is going to show you where obligation has become the rule, right? You feel obligated to say yes to something because someone else said yes to you, so you feel like you have to say yes to them. And I'm not saying to say no outright, because if it does fit in with the bigger vision, then yes. But if it doesn't and you're afraid to say no, that's what I'm trying to say is to pay attention to that. Your energy is going to show you where fears making decisions sound responsible. And that's why I think having a decision framework like I have the Yes Reset method around how to say yes better. It's about knowing your energy. I mean, it's so much bigger than just your decision. Your decisions are also based on your energy. That's why I say your energy is your biggest asset, the most important one. Again, I'm not telling you to say no to everything. That's not what I believe. But it's about learning how to say yes better from a place that actually fits, that honors your energy, that doesn't leave you privately paying for it later. That's not only made because you were afraid to disappoint someone else or afraid to lose out on an opportunity, or maybe even afraid that if you don't say yes, someone's going to decide that you're no longer the capable one. That's why it's so important. And that's why I feel that when you have that decision framework and you understand your energy is going to help you to understand how that you maybe have been overriding yourself. Because sometimes we don't need to make a bigger decision right away. We think sometimes we do. We fear, especially if you are seeing marketing where it's like that marketing where they come at you saying, well, you only have like a couple hours or a couple of days, or it's going away soon, right? And again, I'm not saying that those things are bad because that person really does have a timeline and why they're saying it's going away because they do have a timeline. And that's fine. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to say yes if it doesn't align. Again, sometimes for me, I believe the first move is to notice why you're saying yes, why you would want to say yes, and what's that really asking from you? This opportunity, this idea. Does it align with the life that you say you want to build? Or are you just following an old rule because it's familiar to you? And for professional women, for entrepreneurial women, for women in general, that could be an incredibly honest place to find yourself because old rules, they often sound respectable and, be available, be flexible, be the one who can handle and be grateful for the opportunities, be the person who goes above and beyond and says yes. And again, there's going to be seasons where that serves you. Okay. There's going to be rooms where that can help you. There may be moments where that's going to be part of how you build trust, credibility, and opportunity. But when that rule that helps you become trusted and trains people to expect access to you that you don't want to keep giving, what happens when you're going above and beyond? It becomes the baseline. What happens when being easy to work with starts meaning easy to overextend? What happens when your professionalism becomes the place where your self-abandonment is hardest to see? That's not an accusation here, right? It's just a question. I really want you to think about it. It's a question I think that many of us know before we even say it out loud, but we have a way of overriding ourselves. We know when a yes doesn't feel clean, right? We do. We know when we're agreeing from pressure, when we're performing ease while something inside of us is calculating the cost. We know when we're being praised for a version of ourselves that's no longer sustainable. We feel that. And sometimes I believe the boldest move isn't the big visible decision. I believe sometimes it's the moment that you stop obeying the old rules that you've been operating by. The rule that says you have to answer immediately, like you have to respond immediately. For me, I'm the person that I can be even on a call with somebody. I have a call with someone and I'll be interested specifically in their services and then realize that I need more time. Like, I just know I'm the type of person that needs to think about it, not think about it because of the money necessarily, but thinking about it because I need to process it. That's just who I am. And just being on a 30-minute call, it's not enough for me. I just know that about myself. Maybe you go by a rule that has you explaining everything perfectly, or you have to be grateful not to ask for different terms, or the rule that says that rest has to be earned after everything else is complete, right? When you begin to question the old rules, you don't always have new rules ready, okay? And that can feel really uncomfortable. I get it. Because again, you could be standing at this crossroads thinking, okay, I want change. What does that look like? I don't even know. But I know that this old way isn't working for me anymore. There's that space between the way you always have done things and the way you are learning to do them now, but you don't always have words to put to them yet, right? You have the feelings, you have you're thinking like, I know I want change, but I don't know exactly how that's going to work out. And that can feel really scary because you might still really care about the old way, right? The way you've been doing your work. You love what you do. You respect the people that you are serving. You want to lead well in your space. You want to build something meaningful. But at the same time, you also can know that the way you've been doing it, it may not be the only way. And maybe it's not even the most honest way for you anymore. So I just want you to sit with this. I want you to sit with this question. What old rule do you need to rebel against? Okay, giving yourself permission. Or what old rule have you outgrown, but you're still obeying it because it's helped you to get to where you are, to this crossroads where you are, this success where you are? Because it's going to show you something. It may not show you the whole picture, but it's going to show you something. And it might show you where one yes, the way you say yes, needs to be revisited. Maybe you need a framework. Maybe it shows you a boundary that you have been crossing, that you set, but you haven't been enforcing for yourself, right? Or enforcing for other people because you kind of have that gray area. Maybe it's going to show you where your energy's been telling the truth for a long time now, but you've just been shoving it down like, oh, I'll rest when I finish this. Once I get through this, I'll take time to rest. And maybe it might show you that you've been calling responsibility something that you've been saying is responsible. It's just a familiar way of being. Again, you don't have to redesign your life in one moment. I just want you to be able to take a look at like, where are you? What have you outgrown? But still is something that you're still operating by because it's the known. Because the unknown is a really scary place at times, but it's also a very exciting place because it opens up a lot of things, especially if you are open to listening, are open to exploring. And that's why I brought this conversation today because I thought it was really important as we step into this month where I'm talking to professional women, some incredible women who are in the legal space and they're not all in the legal space, but I was just excited about the legal space and talking to the attorneys I did because, and you're going to get to hear them. I just really love the idea of what they're doing to make change in the world for other women. It's just blowing my mind, and I can't wait for you to listen to them. So, anyways, before we go, I just wanted to remind you that I'm really excited to be doing my first Faceless and Nameless gathering. It's coming up July 23rd. So that's 22 days away. Oh my gosh. But July 23rd, I'm going to be holding it. It's a virtual gathering. There'll be, again, no names, no faces, no titles. So you're not leading with who you are or what you do. You're just coming as a human being to stay in that space and and support each other. And I'm really excited to do this because I think this is the direction that I've just been called to. I'm being pulled into because I'm seeing so many of you out there that are posting so vulnerably about how you are, in your feelings about things, and you're posting anonymously. And I'm seeing that and I'm thinking, that there's the safety piece isn't there. So that's why I wanted to do this. So first Faceless and Nameless gathering is on July 23rd, it's a Thursday, 12 p.m. Eastern New York time, which means on the West Coast, it'll be 9 a.m. for you. So you can start your day on the right foot, getting that support. If you're Central, that would be 11 a.m. still for you the same time. And if you're in the UK and you want to wind down your day and just come in and be supported, that's going to be 5 o'clock for you. And I chose that time because I wanted it to be accessible across different time zones. And I'm keeping this first gathering small. So I'm looking for about 5 or 6 more people, more women to join me for this first one, because I don't want this to feel like a webinar. I don't want this to feel like you're coming into a space and you get lost in the shuffle, right? I really want this to be a place where you come in and you support each other. It's a small, intimate gathering. You feel supported. I got a fun way of doing it. And so for those of you who want to join, just check the show notes for my email. Send me an email saying yes to the gathering, and I will reach out to you with the details for the first one and what you need to do to get set up. And then for those of you who also come in, but you can't, it's, because the gathering is, again, I'm keeping it at 10 women, and then you want to be a part of it. You want to be a part of the next one or the next one after that. Send me your information. Just respond to me saying yes to the gathering, and I will add you to my spreadsheet. And that way, when the next one comes around, I'll be reaching out to you, next steps to register and all of that. So again, I really am excited for this. I want this to be a place where you come, you feel supported, not to be fixed, but just to be supported. And again, I'm really excited to do this. So if that speaks to you, check the show notes for my email. Send me an email as quick as you can so that we can get you registered for the first one. And I'm excited for it. I really, truly am excited for it. Sometimes I feel that the truth that we speak doesn't have a place to land. And I feel like maybe we're tired of carrying it alone, but we're afraid to say it, especially on social, as ourselves because of that judgment piece. So I really, truly, that's why, again, the gatherings, but I truly want you to know that as you move through this week, I want you to really, again, sit with that question. What old rule have you outgrown? What are you still obeying because it once helped you to get to the success? I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to rush into an answer. I just want you to notice it, because sometimes noticing the rules, though, that's the first place, right? That's where a new way can begin. That's where we can open ourselves up to the possibilities. And yeah, I think that's really what I wanted to say today, because I felt, I was going to do something else, and I thought, no, I really want to talk to this. I really want to talk to rules, especially as I sit here thinking about like the known piece and now the unknown and stepping into it. So anyways, thanks for spending time with me today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I hope to see you or I should say, I hope to have you join me and the other women who say yes in the Faceless and Nameless virtual gathering. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. And yeah, I can't wait to see you there. Anyways, until next time, keep dreaming, keep believing, and keep designing your extraordinary life one day at a time. Thank you for joining me on Her Extraordinary Life by Design. I hope you've been inspired and empowered by the incredible stories shared on this show. If you enjoyed this episode and the conversations we've had, I would greatly appreciate if you could take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback and support mean the world to me, and it will help others discover the podcast and join our empowering community. Remember to hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Together, we can continue to learn from these amazing women, uncover their extraordinary journeys, and be motivated to create our own lives by design. Thank you again for tuning in. Until next time, stay empowered and keep shaping your extraordinary life one day at a time.